Jamie's a really good friend. I also do the Snow Files podcast with Jamie, Tam, and Bruce. And some of you might know that Jamie has a new media project that he'd like our help with, The Message in a Bottle.